My parents kicked me out at 16 for being a lesbian disgrace who wanted to paint instead of pray. Yesterday, they knocked on my door and asked me to fix their new daughter because she turned out exactly like me. The day I left, my father threw a Bible at my head and told me to rot. I slept in a shelter. I worked 3 jobs. I put myself through design school with nothing but rage and cheap coffee. Now, at 27, I have my own studio, a wife, and a life that is loud, colorful, and happy. I hadn't spoken to them in 10 years. Then, I saw them standing on my porch. They looked older, smaller. My mother was holding the hand of a terrified 10-year-old girl who was wearing a shirt covered in paint stains. "This is Bella," my mother said, skipping the hello. "She's broken. She doesn't listen. She draws on the walls. We can't handle her anymore. You're the artsy one. Fix her." I looked at Bella. She wasn't broken. She was me. "You want me to babysit?" I asked, locking the door. "We want you to take her," my father grunted, refusing to look me in the eye. "Just for a while, until she learns to be normal. We can't have this chaos in our house." They were discarding their second child because she wasn't a carbon copy of their expectations, just like they discarded me. "Fine," I said. "Leave her." They dropped her bag and ran. They didn't hug her. They didn't say goodbye. They escaped like they were fleeing a crime scene. I took Bella inside. She stood in the middle of my living room, clutching a sketchbook to her chest like a shield. She saw my wife, Sarah, walking down the stairs. "Is that your roommate?" Bella whispered. "That's my wife," I said. Bella's eyes went wide. She looked at me, then at her shoes. "Mom said you were sick. She said you caught a gay." "I'm not sick," I smiled. "And neither are you. Can I see your book?" She hesitated, then handed it over. It wasn't scribbles. It was art. Dark, intricate charcoal sketches of monsters with my parents' faces. It was rage on paper. It was beautiful. "They hate it," she whispered. "They burned my last one." "Well," I said, handing it back. "In this house, we don't burn art. We frame it." For a month, Bella thrived. She stopped shrinking when I raised my hand. She started laughing. She painted a mural on the guest room wall because I told her she could. She wasn't difficult. She was just suffocating. Then, the inevitable happened. My parents called. They wanted her back. "We found a boarding school," my dad said. "It's a conversion camp. It will straighten her out. Have her ready in an hour." My blood ran cold. A conversion camp. The same threat they used on me. I looked at Bella, who was currently teaching my dog to high five. If I sent her back, she wouldn't survive. They would crush the light out of her. When their car pulled up, I walked out alone. "Where is she?" my dad demanded, stepping out of the sedan. "She's staying," I said. "Excuse me?" my mom shrieked. "She is our daughter. You are kidnapping her." "Actually," I said, pulling a document from my back pocket, "I'm protecting her. This is a temporary emergency custody order. I filed it this morning." My dad laughed. Cruel, ugly sound. "On what grounds?" "We gave her to you." "Abandonment," I said calmly. "And emotional abuse." "I have her sketchbooks, Dad. The ones where she drew you locking her in the closet. I have the recordings of her nightmares. And I have my own testimony about what you did to me." I stepped closer. "You kicked out your first daughter for being different. You won't destroy the second one. If you try to fight this, I will drag you through family court so hard your church friends will hear the gavel drop." He froze. He looked at the document. He looked at my house, the house I bought with my sinful art money. He knew he couldn't win. I wasn't the scared teenager anymore. I was a monster he created. "You're dead to us," he spat. "I've been dead to you for 10 years," I said. "Now get off my driveway." They left, tires screeching. I walked back inside. Bella was waiting at the top of the stairs. "Did they go?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Yeah," I said. "They're gone." "Am I going to the bad school?" "No, I promise. You're going to art school, and you're staying right here." She ran down the stairs and hugged me. It was the first time she initiated contact. My parents thought they were dumping a problem. They didn't realize they were giving me the only thing I was missing, a chance to save myself.